Hi, thanks for joining me for this Canva tutorial of journal pages. This will be very simple and we will go step by step. So I start by scrolling through templates and I'm searching for something very basic because I want to customize it. So I'm simply choosing this page with lines on it. It also has a floral detail, but I will be removing that and adding something of my choice. That's one thing about Canva, is very customizable. You can really make things your own. So here you see me typing in elephant outline. I'm sizing it down and I'm going to change the color to a light lavender. The colors for this project are pink and purple. So next I'm going to go through and change the lines just randomly. The three colors I'll be using are different shades of purple. There'll also be a teal color in there. That's what you see me choosing there. And you can pretty much use any colors you want. So I'm done with that page. I added a page and it's blank, and we will build this one from scratch. I start by typing in purple corner accent because I'm looking for designs to outline the page, but I don't want a complete border. So I'm choosing these floral corner pieces here, and I actually scroll through and look at quite a few. I left that one there, so just in case I don't find anything better, I'll just easily come back to the one I already have there. And that's what I ended up doing, just going with the one that I chose at first. So I'm changing the colors to the theme. Then I'm going to duplicate the one you see here, and I'm sizing it down so I can basically see the scale. Because remember, you're using a 8.5 by 11 page, like your average sheet of paper. So I duplicated that and I drug it down and then flipped it. So now I have my border. So next, I'm going in to look for some text. And I like using the presets. It's easier for me than to scroll through and just randomly choose just different text, because you get a preview here. So I'm typing in date. I'm sizing it down. I like that the lines come up so you keep everything nice and neat and in line. I'm going to change the color of the font to lavender or light purple. And now I'm looking for a line to put next to the date. So one thing I've noticed when you're choosing lines, there are some lines that you can adjust the size of, and there are some that you can't. So that's what you see me doing here. When I grab the end point, and I wasn't able to adjust the length of it, so I deleted it and I'm looking for another one. So I do that a few more times. And I left all of that in here because these are common issues that you may run into, and you already know how to fix it. So I finally found a line. I'm changing the color of it, and I'm also going back and changing the width of it. So I like that, but I'm just going to drag it over a little bit more and adjust the alignment of everything. So next, I'm going to add more text. And that's the thing, think about what you're going to use your page for. And that's how you decide what headings you want to use. So I typed in top priorities because I'll be using this sheet to plan out my week, keep things all in one place so I can see things at a glance, what I need to do, and adjust my time. So now I'm looking for a list. And I'm actually looking for lines pretty much that you could make a list with. I chose list because I also want a place where I can put check marks. So I thought this here was pretty cute because I could fill in the hearts when something is done or completed. So I thought that was a neat way to keep track of things. So I will be creating another heading. So I duplicated the words there, so that way I don't have to resize the font or figure out which font I used. So now I'm just playing around to see what looks best. And I'll adjust things here. And I left all of this in here because I didn't want to create an unrealistic video where it looks like, oh, she just gets it right the first time. Sometimes that can be discouraging to people that are just starting out. So I wanted you to see all the times I change my mind, all the times that I choose something that might not be the best fit and I go back and change it. And that's the fun of it too. You might think you have it just right, like, oh, it's perfect. And then you'll scroll and you'll see something else. You're like, oh, that's so pretty. And you'll put that in instead. So going in and adjusting the colors. That's one of my favorite things to do, to play around with the different colors and just personalize it. So I put deadlines over here because you can have your top priorities, but then also you need to know when things are actually due. So I put that over here. And while it might look small, like you're not going to have enough room to write, remember, I have this reduced to 40% of the size. And that's just so you can see everything that I'm doing. But this is more than enough room. And you'll see at the end, when we actually print the pages, that there's more than enough room to actually write. One thing that I noticed that I did and I changed off camera is, do you see where top priorities is? It's actually sitting on that first line, so I did move that. So now I'm down here adjusting things, just making sure everything fits. So I found a frame. So now I'm looking for another rectangle to put within it, and that's where we'll actually write. I didn't want to leave this just plain white. I wanted to add some more color. And I had to play around with this a bit because if you get a shape that doesn't have like 4 drag points where you can adjust the length and the width, it's not going to fit most of the time. So like this one, it has all 4 points, so I can adjust the width and the height. But the thing is, the color wouldn't adjust to what I wanted it to be. So you'll see that here. Like it just wasn't opaque enough for me. And it wasn't actually, as light as I wanted it to be. So I tried a few times and then I gave up and went on to choose something else. So we're scrolling through and we have found a winner here. So I adjust the color slightly. And then I'm going to change the position of it. I'm going to put it behind the frame. And next, instead of adding lines where I can write, I'm actually going to add dots. So I go over, I type in dots, and I play around with a few sets, and it's the same thing like with the shapes. Some will allow you to just drag the corners, and then others will allow you to drag all 4 sides. And there are some that if they're narrow enough, all you need to do is drag the corner. So I found one that fits. And that's what I'm doing here. And I center it. And you can center manually or you can use the presets. And I got lucky here because I went over to center and it was grayed out because it was already centered. So I'm just adjusting the transparency of those circles, the dots. So now I want to put a heading down here because I will use this area for notes. So there was one already done and I didn't really like that. I didn't think it fit the rest of the theme. It was too casual. This one is a little fancy, so I'm looking for some fancy letters. That one, it was okay, but I didn't quite want that either. I wanted something a little more clean, so it would go with the rest of the fonts that I used. So I played around with that one a little bit, didn't like it, so it's like, I'll use these letters. So I ungrouped them, adjusting the larger letters. I got rid of the smaller letters. So I type in notes. I want to adjust the letter spacing. So just a little dragging and dropping. And although we're making a journal page or a planner page, all of the skills you see here, you can use them throughout Canva on any type of project that you're using. That's the good thing about this video. All of the skills are transferable. So we're changing the font color here and we're just about done. I'm not going to overdo it, so I made the page smaller so I can see where everything sits, make sure everything is aligned, and it is. So now I'm playing with the background color, and then I'm thinking in my mind, do you want to use that much ink? So I decided to keep it white, which I think is a nice contrast to the pink and purple. So now I'm just looking for a few more accents to dress up the page. So you remember where we put deadlines? I thought it would be neat to put a clock up there. So that's what I did here. So I think the page looks good. So I enlarged it again so we can see the detail. And I'm just scrolling through to see if I see anything else. Thought about putting a pencil next to the word notes. Didn't see any I liked, so I changed it to pen. Thought about those squiggly lines, but I didn't want to get carried away. So I thought this little quill pen was really cute. So that's what I decided to add. So I think I'm finally done. So I give it a once over. I like the way everything looks. Just going to put my name down here. And I'm making it really small. I don't like for it to be in your face. And I'm only adding that for the video. So if anyone's looking for more tutorials, they know whose page to go to. And we make it pink. And don't forget, we have that other page. Remember the one we started with the lines? So now I'm just adding a little, we had a little extra space down there at the bottom. So I said, why not add some vines? So I changed the color to purple, and then I'm going to duplicate it and drag that over and put it behind that rectangle there. So now I duplicated it and drag it over. Let me know what you think in the comments. If there's something you would have done differently, if there was another accent you would have added. I didn't want the page to look too crowded, so I was really happy with the way things turned out. So I'm enlarging it here, going back up to the top, and I'm going to change the order of the pages. That's what you see me doing here. And I'm just hovering over it so you see what each one does. So we put this one at the top because that would be the first page in my journal or in my planner. So now all we're going to do is go down here and take this elephant out because it really doesn't go with our overall theme. So bye-bye, Mr. Elephant. And we're going to add these watercolor grapes here. I thought those were neat. Just kind of fancy and elegant. You know what I mean? Without doing too much, and kind of playful too, because we want to keep it light. All right, so all we have to do now is print. So I saved these pages as a PDF, and I just print it straight from my computer. So here we go. And I don't have a fancy printer at all. It's just a Canon inkjet printer that I got from Best Buy. But I wanted to print everything so you see that things do come out to scale. So we have our grapes there. And next, here comes our other page. And I was so pleased with the way everything came out. Let me know what you think. Also, I wanted to show you when you stay within those guidelines, you have more than enough room to punch holes in your pages to add them to a binder, if you so choose. So here it is. Oh, it's lovely. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer them for you. Thanks for joining me.